alluding to, one in Melbourne, and then Oscar actually just raised his game, and Lando had a few things go wrong with, on his side, and the pressure started mounting for him. In the end, he turned it round. But these are new pressures for George Russell, champion of the lower ranks, but Formula One is a different kettle of fish, and he has got the glorious chance at achieving his life goal this year. But at the moment, it does look like Kimi's stepping up.
High stakes, two brilliant drivers. They're on the front row for us for the third Grand Prix of the year. A Grand Prix that is going to start at 10 past the hour for the formation lap. I want to show you the reason why. Not yet seen this, but I want to show you the reason why we've got the delay. So this is the Porsche race from earlier on. A little bit of panel bashing. That we're very much used to. But it's going to have to be fairly sizable as we go into turn 12, because usually not much happens. Look at that. My word. That is an enormous crash. And that is why we've had the repair. So side by side, into turn 12 we go. And Suzuka does not have much by way of runoff.
Well, they're good at rolling over the barriers here, aren't they? Could be a Porsche, could be a Super Formula car. Luke Browning, the Williams reserve driver, knows all about that from a couple of months ago.
Thank you for the job you did, Luke Browning, for us. Your reward is being reminded of that enormous crash. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the year, weren't we? Where sometimes around this circuit, there was a crash here at the 130R, and you can end up at the Degners. That's the nature of this place. An extraordinary challenge for the drivers. It's coming your way in 44 minutes' time. The build-up, the atmosphere here, it's always special. How's it feeling on the grid, Ariana?
Oh, Alex, it's feeling amazing. Look at these fans. Look at them. We don't get this everywhere. And as you've said, support for all of the drivers. They're giving us big, big waves here on the grid. I'm getting a bit carried away, actually, but they're just so lovely here. The atmosphere is absolutely amazing. We have repositioned ourselves, though, outside the grid position of Gabriel Bortoleto, because he had a wonderful qualifying session yesterday, P9, and outperforming Nico Hülkenberg, who had been outperforming him previously in the weekend. Really good showing from him.
It really was, and despite the switch around at the top, at the very top of Audi, with Jonathan Wheatley moving away from the team, they're actually building into the season, aren't they, really nicely, for a team who brought an entirely new engine this year, new OEM manufacturer, of course, and both Hülkenberg, I think, and Bortoleto are doing a really nice job for them. They'll be desperately hoping they get both of these cars off the line, because they have had one car not start each of the Grand Prix so far. If they do so, it looks like they've got two cars with potential for points.
Yes, reliability popping up at different teams across the grid. But as we've said, Gabriel Bortoleto managing to put in a really strong performance over Nico. Nico Hülkenberg will start P13 today. But the fact that that is actually his lowest start so far of the season is quite a strong reflection of how well this Audi team are doing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's made a habit of finishing P11th in all qualifying sessions so far this year, including the spring qualifying. Look, I think what they're getting is the experience of Nico and those years of working with other teams across the Formula One grid, like Renault and Williams. And with Gabriel Bortoleto, he's one of those rookies who's able to come into this new generation of car, not really have to forget a load of years of the old generation of cars, just 1 year he's got to forget. I think the job that they're doing is spectacular, and that's exactly why Audi signed a mix of youth and experience, because they wanted to look to the future but also have that experience to help them make this fast start to their life as an Audi Works manufacturer.
It's the nature of the beast, though, up and down the field. We are seeing the young drivers. I mean, we're across from where Isaac Hadjar will be starting the Grand Prix. We are seeing these young drivers get their head around this regulation set, knuckle down and get on with it and figure it out, because effectively they know no different. So they're turning up with their opportunity in Formula One and figuring it out quite starting the Grand Prix. We are seeing these young drivers get their head around this regulation set, knuckle down and get on with it, and Bortoleto, of course, with a bit more experience under his belt, but I think it holds as a younger driver.
What about over at Alpine, though? Pierre Gasly, P7 once again in qualifying. Meanwhile, Franco Colapinto, P15. And when we spoke, of course, to Steve Nielsen yesterday, he let us know that they're on the same spec this weekend. So that's not really the showing that Franco would have wanted, but hats off to Pierre at the same time.
I think what's particularly impressive by Pierre's performance this weekend is the way he started at the start of the weekend, where he was well off the pace, and they had no idea why the car wasn't really performing as they expected. They made a load of changes through the weekend. From FP3, he managed to find some confidence in the car, and then in qualifying, when it really mattered, he delivered.
He did indeed. Now I can hear the car engines firing up and cars making their way down the pit lane. Green light is nearly upon us. Back to you guys in commentary.
Thank you, Ariana. Look at the glorious, glorious sight. Formula One cars queuing.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It's a very early morning for me. I am looking at the dim light of 6 a.m. in the morning for the Formula One Japanese Grand Prix. I am still waking up. I hope you have got your coffee. I don't know where you are in the world if you are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, but we are here. I got my coffee. I need to wake up a bit. I'm trying to. I've had 3 hours sleep, but I'm here. I'm here to do the thing, right? So the energy might not be as big as other races, but I'm gonna try my best to get the energy up. Look, we got a formation lap coming, but the start of the race has been delayed by 10 minutes, so it gives me a bit of time to just wake up, get the energy to max, and then we'll get the race underway. But a lot of drama has happened in Formula One over the last couple of days. Some controversy over Mercedes cheating. The cheating Mercedes. Can you believe it? Their front wing aero had a two-phase active aero, which has been investigated by the FIA. The cheating bastards. Who would have known? Ferrari seemed to have fell off a bit, losing a lot of power down the straights. Leclerc had been complaining throughout FP1 and qualifying that they're losing so much pace down the straights because of this battery issue. I think across the field, cars are losing almost 55 kilometers an hour down the straights. That's throughout the whole grid. Some cars are losing, I think the Alpines were reporting losing 75 kilometers an hour down the straights. It's mental. So people still haven't come to terms with the whole battery change and how this is working. A lot of controversy coming out about, from Max saying that this isn't how racing should be. And yeah, I don't know if you guys caught Max kicking out the journalist. Good old Max. Can't ask questions, right? But welcome to the chat if you are here. If you are brand new, you can see obviously on the left hand side we have all our telemetry that's telling you everything you need to know, what gear they're in, what tires they're on, what their intervals are, what their speed is, all of this jazz. It tells you what the track conditions are, so your temperature, your air, humidity, temperature on track, what the wind speed is, all of that jazz. And then obviously down at the top here you have your track, which is showing you track position. Now we are in Japan, so I think we may have some slight delays in the timings, but I'm gonna do my best to keep the stream flowing. As the the buffering goes, it should get better. So I'm just gonna make sure that we're live and everything is flowing smoothly. But welcome to the stream. It's an early morning stream for me. Please forgive me while I wake up and suck down some of this caffeine to get this underway. But I'm pumped. It's been a super fun. This is the third race of the season so far, and it's been super fun. I mean, last race was absolutely incredible between the Ferraris. Holy shit, man. To see two Ferraris going at it and swapping positions like they did, it was absolutely bonkers to watch, and really, really cool. I really hope that everyone gets their battery woes under control, because we all want to see the good racing, right? We all want to see the really good stuff that has been coming out of the races so far. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what goes down. now there is a bit of a delay here, so I'm going to see if I can try and fix this before the race starts. So please bear with me while I just make sure that we're all on there. I think I may just do a little refresh here on the live timings. Let's just do that now quickly. Let's have a little refresh here. Just make sure that this is all timed up, because I hate it when that happens. Sometimes the stream is a bit slow because obviously I'm on the other side of the world. The bit rate has an issue, but you know, we do my best. We do the best here. But welcome to Unhinged Commentary, where I scream like a little girl and swear at Lance Stroll because he sucks ass and shouldn't be in Formula 1. But Max Verstappen, the controversy here is Max is in 11th position. What the fuck is going on there? I can't believe Max is suffering. There's something going on at the Red Bull garage that I'm not quite sure what is happening. But Japan is a good test for any team because the track is insane. It's such a cool track to watch. It's very fast. It has some really awesome winding high-speed corners into some really, really interesting low speed and low speed into short stints of burst, which plays well to the whole battery issue that cars are playing with. But we will see how that currently goes, because I'm not quite sure where this is going to go down. But a lot of people at the track. Oh my god, there's almost 500,000 people at the Japanese track. Man, I would love if you could go to one race in the Formula 1 schedule, where would it be? I think Japan would probably be up there. Because I don't know why, but for some reason Japan just seems like such a sweet kind of track. Yeah. So anyway, as you can see, there is a slight delay here. I may have to restart the stream, but we'll see here if I can figure this out. So just bear with me, guys, while I figure out some of the bit rating streams here, because there is a slight issue in the delay. So let's see if we can get that. If I can't get this fixed before the stream, don't worry. I will always you know, comment live and tell you exactly what is going on. Let's see, bitrate here. Let us change it here. 1 second. Let's just try this here. Bitrate, let's say 00. Let's try that. Okay. Oh man, my eyes are stinging. My eyes are stinging, cause. So if I just refresh this quick, just fixing up the bitrate, making sure everything is good here. I think that's okay. Seems a bit better. Let's just let it buffer a bit. Maybe just rewind this couple seconds. Yeah, this is the problem when you try and stream stuff that is across the world. We're jet setting in the digital world, sending a stream across the planet. What a time to be alive. Anyway, it's time to forget about all the shit that's going on in the world. Okay, it's time to forget about Iran. It's time to forget about AI. It's time to forget about everything. Okay, and let's just watch some rich guys race some fast cars across the track. Okay, I wish I could speak Japanese. Ogasadai korimasu, domo arigato gozaimasu. That's all I know for Japanese. And nani? I'll probably say that a bit during the race. But we got 30 minutes to go before the race. I'm trying to wake up, guys. I'm trying to get the energy to max. Okay, I'm struggling, but we'll see how this goes. We do have a bit of a delay, guys. I'm hoping it comes right, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It does look like I have changed the current bit rates. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, 120. Okay, that's cool. Let's just check this. Excuse me while I do this. Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Not sure there's much I can do about this. But anyway, we are here. I will still make sure that I scream and shout and tell you exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, there's nothing much I can do about this. So please just bear with me while this happens. Anyway, we are at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. An iconic track. An iconic track. We don't have a Yuki Tsunoda. There's no Japanese drivers on the grid, which is unfortunate. But we have an interesting lineup. Kimi Antonelli was 300ths of a second ahead of George Russell, which is crazy. This kid is flying down these tracks. Which begs the question, is there going to be an internal fight at Mercedes? Are we going to see some girl fights? Are we going to see some mean girls? Because is George Russell coping with the pressure? Okay, now I love George Russell. He's my boy. I've loved him since Williams. I've loved him since before he came into Formula 1. I think he's a very talented driver, but now we are in a position where Kimi Antonelli, who is a much younger driver, who George took under his wing and is now kicking his ass. So what is going to happen at the Mercedes garage when Kimi starts beating him? What is George going to do? Because Kimi is really putting some pace on that, you know, I haven't really seen in Mercedes since kind of Lewis Hamilton was driving those kind of cars. So yeah, that's the way it goes, eh? That's the way it goes. Let me just make sure if I can just whoa, I'm there, I'm back. Okay, Oscar Piastri and the McLaren Papayas, they seem to be on form. They had an awful Australia. Both cars DNF'd. I don't know what's happening there, but they didn't seem to do too well. So we're going to see what they can do here. Oscar is in third position, but the spread between the cars was very interesting in qualifying. Okay, a 300th gap between Russell and Kimi Antonelli. There was 100th of a gap between Leclerc and Piastri. There was a 200th of a gap between Norris and Leclerc, and Hamilton was down like almost 400 seconds behind Norris, which is quite wild. And, you know, the most underrated driver on this freaking grid is Pierre Gasly, because this guy should not be in 7th position. And he is putting that car in spots that I didn't think were possible for Alpine this year. But he is doing a damn good job at that. Now, I honestly believe since Hadjar has 2 double letters in his name, he has broken the curse at the second Red Bull seat. Because let's be honest, since Sergio Perez, that second seat as Red Bull has been cursed. And I think Hadjar has just broken that because he scored points last week when Max didn't. He's now above Max by 3 positions, 2 positions, 3 positions this week. He is in 8th position, and Max Verstappen is down in 11th. So has Hadjar broken the curse? What do you think? Do you think he might outperform Max this year? Because that's kind of unheard of. No one outperforms Max, especially a teammate, for the love of God. But anyway, we'll see how that plays out during this race. Yeah. But an interesting lineup. Bortoleto down in 9th. We've got Lindeblad at 10th. Verstappen 11th. Ocon, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Colapinto. And then the Aston Martins. Big news out of the Aston Martin garage. Adrian Newey has left as team principal. I'll say that again. Adrian Newey has left from team principal. I mean, this guy is... Adrian Newey is I don't even know what status to put him at. He's kind of iconic. He's kind of mythic almost. And for him to, you know what it is, man? I think he fucked around too much with trying to do too much to the car. Because I made a video about, did Aston Martin make an F1 car? And I honestly believe that somewhere down the season, Aston Martin is going to show some performance. But I think Adrian got too in the weeds with suspension, with the gearbox, and, focused less on what he's good at, which is aerodynamics. And I think that kind of stuff. And also, the Honda engines really had a problem that kind of bricked the car. So a whole lot of factors played into a disastrous start for Aston Martin. They are kind of kicking the bucket down the road at the moment because also they were a couple months behind in the wind tunnel. It's just been a comedy of error for the team, and I kind of feel for them because, you know, it's hard to count out Adrian Newey. It really is. He's too good. He's too good. He's too good to ignore. But anyway, it's how it goes. Yes. Welcome to the track, guys. We're almost away again. We are 10 minutes behind from the start of the race. We are watching Esteban Ocon and Ollie Behrman drift out of the track. Excuse me. I'm still waking up, guys. You gotta forgive me, please. Just this is a little brutal there. It's the sun is literally just coming up outside the window, and that is the way it goes. I'm losing a bit of green screen here. Just make sure that's okay. Well, we're gonna wake up. We're gonna get there. Yeah, it seems to be alright. Alright, let us go, bro. Japan. Nani. Ungai korimasu. Haas also had an awesome livery, bro. They had like a fucking Godzilla livery. Super rad. I loved watching Japan because it's so, you know, there's all this anime and shit involved, and I love anime, and like, I'm surprised no one's done an anime helmet. In fact, did any driver do any like cool helmets? F1 Japan 2026 cool anime helmets. Did anyone do something like that? Because I still haven't seen that. Oh shit. Oh no, this is just fan made stuff. Pierre Gasly had a pretty sweet one. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty rad. Pierre Gasly had a pretty sweet helmet there. George Russell also had a rad one as well. Yeah, I think these are just fan made ones, to be honest. That's freaking sweet. But again, these are fan made. Let's list the Java F1 2026 driver helmets. That's probably the way to do it. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Pierre's is pretty sweet, eh? Hajar's always looks good. That's pretty sweet. Kimi's looks rad. Man, I love Japan. Oh wait, there is an anime one. Is that One Piece? What? Oh my god, it's One Piece. No, it's not One Piece. Mad air. Huh, okay. Man, I love that shit. Japan is so dope, dude. It's such a rad country, and I went there when I was younger, and it's such an incredible place. The people are just on another level. But I'm really excited for this GP. Thank you for tuning in. If you have come to the stream, I know you could probably watch. But I know, I personally, the reason I do this is because I hate the commentary in Formula 1. I can't stand the guys that commentate on Formula 1. So that's why I do this, because it's unhinged commentary. I don't favor anyone, especially not Lance Stroll, for the love of God. I've really, the only guy I really like is Crofty. But even then, he glazes the British drivers. Oh my god, I can't handle it sometimes. It drives me nuts. But they're doing a grid walk at the moment. If you are new here, let's just go through this a bit. You can see on the left screen, that is all the telemetry you need. That's position, what track, their deltas, what the track temperatures and conditions are looking like. If they've pitted, what their intervals are. That's everything you need to know, and I'll go through that during the race. Down here we have FRA's messages, so if anything important pops up, we have a look at that. And then obviously at the top we have our track, the track tracker. During the race, I do have a look at some of the audio transcripts that come through from the drivers. Those are voice notes and stuff like that from the drivers. They are messages from the drivers that we have a look at down the bottom. So it's a full comprehensive look at the race. I like to do that ASAP. But we're going to take a little walk down here again. Lance Stroll and Alonso down in 22nd and 21st. Hey, woo! Have I lost audio? No. It's there. It's son of a bitch. Hello. 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 Yes, it's back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's early in the morning. Just forgive me. There's monsters. There's gremlins in my machine. Anyway, we're back. Okay, yes. So, Bottas and Perez. They're not doing well. Cadillac is not doing well. Okay, it must be hard for a Formula 1 team to come in, pay all this money, and then you sucking hard. So, Perez and Bottas down in 20th. They haven't really finished anywhere up in the field. Okay, so Oliver Bowman a bit out of place down in 18th. I think he had a bit of a troubling qualifying. Again, people coming to terms with the battery deployment and this whole 50-50 split between electronic and the pure petrol engines. But Albon and Sainz down to 16th and 17th. Again, the Williams seem to be struggling a bit. The same. They having performance, when I say performance issues, they're having more inconsistencies in their power and the way they're deploying stuff. So I think, again, throughout the field, there's a very much a learning and development kind of vibe, but they're not doing that well. Carlo Pinto, the most overrated driver in Formula 1, is at 15th. Lawson in 14th. Hulkenberg 13th. Ocon in 12th. Max Verstappen, the person to look out for, because qualifying is very different to racing, and Max, you can never count Max out of a race. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Lindeblad in 10th. Bortoletto in 9th. Alex Hadjar out qualifying Max for the second time. We haven't seen that in a very fucking long time, okay? Isaac Hadjar breaking the curse of the second Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton in 6th. Nando Norris in 5th. Charles Leclerc in 4th. Oscar Piastri 3rd. Russell and Antonelli in 2nd and 1st, respectively. We're going to see how the battle plays out between the youngling and George Russell, Osama bin Russell, okay? Because, oh boy, we're gonna see some trouble at the Mercedes garage. I'm just, oh bro, you can't have, there ain't no two number 1 drivers at the Mercedes team, okay? So, we're going to figure that out. But down into turn 1, if you're looking down in the track mapper here, down into turn 1, okay, it's a relatively long straight into turn 1. And then a very hectic right turn. And then all of your waving corners. I think the overtaking should be happening probably on the first or second corner, depending on how you leave the second. And because I think a lot of people are not realizing that the formation lap is starting to play a massive role in how you get off the line when the lights go out. All right, because if you can harvest your battery super well on the formation lap, you have a better chance of absolutely flying off the lap with a full battery than if you kind of cock it up and don't really, harvest well enough. So it's coming down to that. And George Russell has been really good at doing that. I think Kimi is starting to learn from him as well. And one thing about the Mercedes garage, I mean, they're Germans, ladies and gents. And these guys, they are precision, okay? And I'm not a Mercedes fan. I really am not. But you can't deny that these guys are research and development freaks. So you can bet your ass that Mercedes is going to study data and give it to both drivers and let them do what they need to do. Okay? I don't know if we're going to see a 2016 Nico Hulkenberg, Lewis Hamilton battle between the Mercedes this year. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out. But anyway, if you are new here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We are almost underway. They have delayed the start of the race about 10 minutes. So it gives me a bit of time to wake up. Oh my God. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. But I'm here. I'm doing the thing. I don't think I need my headphones. No, I don't need my headphones. I'm just gonna... Oh... Yeah, just little... Oh my goodness, I'm awake. I don't know where you are in the world or what time it is, but... The sun is still waking up in my side, okay? It's Sunday, and I should not be awake this early, but I'm here to support Formula 1 because... Let's go! They got some sweet people playing... they got violins and an old lady band jamming out on track for the start of the race. Woo! Let's go. I wish I could play it for you, but I can't because, you know, copyright strikes, and that's just the way it is. But Japan. Domi arigato gozaimasu. Nani? That's the only thing I know, and that's all you're going to hear most of the race. I can't really say much else. Except that. So you're going to have to deal with that. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen into turn 1. I don't know. I think the drama and the source that we need to watch is going to be between Leclerc and Piastri and probably Gasly and Hamilton, because it really depends. It really depends on who gets the best battery storage on the formation lap. That's really what it's going to come down to. And it's super important. This energy management, I think... This is the... Oh my God, Jack Black is at the Japanese Grand Prix. I love Jack Black. He's the best. Tribute is the greatest. But here's the thing as well. Like... Sure, the mechanics of battery deployment is complicated for the drivers, but as the season progresses and we get, you know, or the teams become more accustomed to this, you know, how is this going to affect grid position for all of the teams? In fact, I need to just check my audio here, guys. Please just give me a second for the drivers. But as the season progresses and we get, you know, or the teams become more accustomed to this, you know, how is this? Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we got a couple minutes here. I'm just gonna suck down some nicotine and try and wake up a second. So just bear with me. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Where is this? Is it this side? What is happening here? Yeah, that's alright. That is alright. We are looking good, ladies and gents. So yeah, Max Verstappen not happy. Max at the post race. Max kicking out that guy, the journalist. It's laugh so hard, bro. Just get out. I don't want. I literally just told him to get out, and then they carried on with the press conference. Max freaking Verstappen. Well, I'm just trying to warm up my voice. Just suck down some coffee. Again, guys, there is a slight delay here. All right, I'm gonna do my best to just keep you informed. Unfortunately, I'm thousands of miles away from Japan, so this happens sometimes. You know, when the eastern side of things happen. The stream can get a bit delayed. Well, not the stream, but the telemetry and the track data can get a bit delayed. Please bear with me while that happens. I will still commentate live as it happens. But that's just, there's not much I can really do on my end except fiddle with bit rates and all of that shit. Kimi Antonelli's Alpha looks dope. Looks super cool. And the Haas livery with Gojira is freaking awesome. I love it. I love that shit. I love that shit, bro. Yeah. But we are almost underway. Drivers are gearing up, blowing on their headphones as they're going to put them in their ears, because it's not that cold on track. I mean, it's 36 degrees on track. So I don't know what's happening there. There is a bit of a wind. I don't think that's going to play much of a role because the wind isn't too strong. Humidity is 53.6. It's actually kind of perfect conditions for racing today, which is just kind of cool. Like I say, I love Suzuka. It's a great track. It's a great track for overtaking as well, especially into turns 15. You got that long straight coming down into turn 12, which is it's epic. If you look at the track here, I'm talking about if you're coming into turn 8, you're turning into turn 9. You've got this little mini straights, and then you've got the hairpin at 11. Then you've got this long winding right from turn 12 to turn 13, and then you have this busting straight out of turn 16, and I think the main overtaking is probably going to take place down these two corners from 16 to 15, because you're going straight into a chicane down in that's incorrect, that's an incorrect, oh, that's 16, excuse me, yes. So 14 to 15, so this long straight with this little corner, that is a very, very fast part of the track, and I think most overtaking is probably going to happen in that area. Depending, because again, you can harvest on long right-hand corners, because you are putting energy into the tires and into the car when you are turning the car. So we'll see how they handle that, and especially if you can do something on this last corner, you're gonna have low braking, low downforce here, and then if you've got anything over 80-90%, you're gonna deploy full battery from corners 14 down the straight into turn 15. To maybe get some overtakes. So we're going to see how that plays out. But again, a lot can happen in this track. It's very unpredictable, and we'll see what these drivers can really do during this race. But we're almost live, guys. We're almost there, guys. It's going to start very, very soon. We got a couple minutes underway before we start the Japanese Grand Prix. Looking at Lando Norris slapping nuts. He's slapping nuts. Lando, I swear to God, he's such a nerd. I miss old Lando. I'm just going to say, the new Lando Norris, I mean, since he's won the Formula 1 championship, he's become a bit of an ass. I still love him, though, but he's changed. He's changed a little. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, okay? You know, when you win the championship,
on strategy,
these things happen.
It's going to be a tough battle between the two.
So what I'm going to do here is I want to just do another refresh here, so we can make sure we're all live. So bear with me while we just refresh the stream, make sure we're all live and on point. I'm changing to the international stream. I'm hoping that helps a bit with the bit rate. But yes, we are almost underway for the Japanese 2026 Grand Prix, baby. I am pumped. If you are tuning in, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And where you are in the world, let me know. Let me know in the chats. I want to know where you're from. What time is it in your area? Because the sun is almost up where I am. It is currently 7 a.m. 7 a.m. in a warm Durban, South Africa. And I am pumped to see what's happening here. A little more sip of my caffeine. I've got to get that energy up. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Bear with me while we get this. You see, I'm still half asleep. I'm zombie mode here at the moment. Actually, where Where is the next race? I always forget. F1 2026 calendar. We're at Bahrain. Didn't they cancel the Bahrain GP? Yeah, Bahrain has been cancelled. Shit. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix has been cancelled. Fuck. So we're losing 2 races this year. I don't think they're going to be replacing that. But that is 100% confirmed. Bahrain, as you can see, cancelled because of the Iran conflict with the United States. But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to forget about all of the shit that's going on in the world. Watch some rich guys race some cars around the track. But yeah, Bahrain has been cancelled. Shanghai has been cancelled. So that's 2 races off the calendar. There's no talk about anything being replaced here. So we're going straight to America, which means there's a huge gap in these, you know, where the cars can't really do any research and development either. It's a lot of telemetry that we're losing out on. What's going to happen there? What's going to happen with that gap? Because it is a large gap. And then we're going straight into Miami. Oh, it's late. Okay, this is good. It's later in the evening, thank God. I prefer doing streams later at night. Thank God. We're almost underway at the Japanese Grand Prix. Okay, they're starting 10 minutes later today. Give me the time to wake the brain up, get some energy, get pumped. Watching the F1 intro is pretty. It's pure cinema. Pure cinema. They did a great job with the intro. Absolutely love it. I'm hoping for a good battle there today between Antonelli and George Russell. I'm hoping for some position swaps between the top 6.
Right then, let's get going. And after a 10-minute delay, whilst they repaired some barriers down at turn 12 after an incident in one of the support races, it is time for the Japanese Grand Prix. Are you ready? Well, we certainly are. The 40th World Championship Japanese Grand Prix, and it's round 3 in 2026. 53 laps to come around this figure-of-8 track. 18 corners, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. Top speed of about 202 miles an hour. 4 braking zones, active aero. Down 2 straights, the overtake mode, extra half a megajoule of energy that you can use to boost your car towards your opponent is detected at turn 16 and available down the main straight and the rest of the lap. C3, C2, C1 of the tyre compound, same as they were last year. Pirelli have raised the pressures on the rear tyres to cope with the loads going through some of these 18 corners here. And once again, it is a glorious day in this part of Japan. We're 30 miles southwest of Nagoya, 93 miles east of Osaka, and looking down from our commentary box on a starting grid that has 22 cars on it for the first time this season. At the 2 Hondas powered Aston Martins on the back row for the first time ever at Suzuka. Honda suffering with power here. Then the Cadillacs of Bottas and Sergio Perez, who outqualified a teammate here for the first time since 2017. Ollie Behrman, big shock exit in Q1, starts 18th alongside Alex Albon for Williams. Carlos Sainz went beyond Q1 for the first time this season, and he lines up alongside Franco Colapinto of Alpine. A lowest ever Suzuka start for Liam Lawson in 14th. Nico Hulkenberg qualified 11th at every other race this year. It's 13th today. 12th place on the grid for Esteban Ocon alongside Max Verstappen. Beaten in qualifying here for the first time since 2019. Arvid Lindblad knocked him out of Q2. He starts 10th, and Gabriel Bortoletto for Audi starts 9th. Isaac Hadjar, 1.2 seconds slower than pole. He starts 8th alongside Pierre Gasly, P7 for the second consecutive Grand Prix. Row 3 is an all-British row. Lewis Hamilton alongside Lando. Norris still hasn't beaten his teammate Oscar Piastri in qualifying this season, and Charles Leclerc has made 4th, his own finishing spot here for the last 3 years. And it's a Mercedes front row lockout. George Russell alongside his teammate Kimi Antonelli. They came here harnessing the spirit of the wolf.
F1 sound is coming through. My apologies. The F1 sound is coming through. Okay, that's probably what's fucking me up. Alright, F1 sound should not be coming through anymore. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I wonder if I got copyright striked for that. I probably did. Hopefully I didn't. Oh shit. But anyway, that should be fine now. That should be fine now. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Anyway, it's a very early morning. We're almost underway for the Japanese Grand Prix. I am alive. I'm here. I'm doing the thing. I feel like a zombie, but we're gonna do this. I'm trying to get the caffeine in. I think we're gonna see some drama. We're going to see some drama down into turn 1, right? I see some drama down into turn 1. I think Kimi and Russell, I don't think they're going to come together, but they sure as fuck are going to fight. And we want to see some fighting. We want to see some boxing between the top 4. We want to see some position changes. Again, whoever gets first here, because from corners 2 down to 7, there are winding corners where you can really build up a lot of battery to be able to maybe deploy quite quickly into turn 7, or even harvest enough down into turn 9 and save it for the straights from 11 all the way down to turn 16. Okay, but we are on the formation lap. I just want to make sure that we are live here and make sure that the stream is all good. So just bear with me while I make sure that we are on point here for when the cars take off and the stream is all caught up and synced, because I don't want you guys watching something that's weird. But if unfortunately, again, guys, we are watching this in Japan, so you gotta just bear with me, because if I say bear with me one more time. Okay, I think we're on point here. Yeah, holy shit. Okay, yeah, I think we're on point here, guys. This is looking good. It's looking good. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. Good job. Nice. Great. Looking great. Everyone is on mediums except for Bottas, who is on hards. We're looking at 18 tire lap length for the medium tires, and hards down into 36 laps. Looking like a one-stop race, but who knows? No one is starting on hard tires. I don't think there's much telemetry or data on the hard tires, but everyone is currently on mediums. We are currently underway for the formation lap. We have the fastest pit stop for 2026, which is in Australia, and it is Mercedes at a 2.17 seconds. Pretty impressive for Mercedes. They haven't been the best with their pit stops, so it's good to see Mercedes kicking ass in the pits. I hope George wins. He deserves it. He's been carrying Mercedes for the last couple of years, so I hope we're gonna see some shit between these teams. I swear to God. I swear to God. Previous winners from 2025 to 2022, it's been Max Verstappen and Bottas in 2019. So that's, I mean, Max has dominated here. We're gonna see that. Kimi dragging his feet a little down into turn 12. Oh, the stream is nicely in sync. I am loving this. I will love it when a plan comes together. But as you can see them coming around down into turn 13, this is where the straights are going to be, this is where the overtaking, I believe, is going to be taking place. Now, the track is still a little narrower coming out of turn 14 here, as you can see, down into turn 15. The track is a bit narrow, but it's very fast-paced, and you have a long right-hand corner, a right and left-hand corner, okay, where if you're harvesting your battery just good enough and really looking after it, you can deploy some serious power down into those two straights, down into the chicane, and maybe do some crazy overtaking. So we're going to see who's got balls of steel, right? Who's going to push the batteries to the absolute limit. Okay, but we are at the formation lap. Cars are coming into the final corner. Kimi leading the pack here. Formation lap is almost done. We're going to get underway for this Japanese Grand Prix in 2026. Very early morning. But we're going to get there. Cars are lining up. We are waiting for the last couple cars, and we're going to get this race sorted. Right. We are a couple seconds, a couple minutes away. Couple minutes away, baby, from the Japanese. Domo arigato kurasaimasu. There's Yuki Tsunoda. What's up, Yuki? Oh, shame, bro. I feel for Yuki. I feel for anyone in their second Red Bull seats. So Kimi is lined up. George is lined up. Piastri is there. Leclerc locked in. Lando Norris is there. We are waiting for the two Aston Martins. Who cares about the Aston Martins? Because they suck and they're never going to get anywhere, especially with Lance Stroll. He's going to put it in the wall. But we are almost ready to go. Safety cars lining up. The Astons are about to get into position and lock in for the start of this race. We are about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. Fernando Alonso pulling up. Last two cars are stopping. Safety car has parked. All lights are ready to get underway for this race. I'm probably going to scream like a little girl. Please forgive me. We are all a go. Green flags are ready. We're about to get this underway. And the lights are going shortly. Japan, lights are 1, 2, 3, 4. Prep, and let's go, baby. Kimi Antonelli off the line does well. Oh, Oscar Piastri goes on the outside. Oh, Charles Leclerc on the inside. Oh my God, Oscar Piastri does a great start on the inside. Charles Leclerc, 2 positions up on turn 2. Absolutely mental. Oh my God, Lando Norris has taken position from George Russell. Is he going to make something stick there? But Piastri got an incredible start. So did Lando Norris to take 3rd position. George Russell lost 2 positions off the line. Hamilton took. But Antonelli, what a dismal start from him. Absolutely shocking from 1st to 6th position. Terrible starts. Absolutely shocking. Charles Leclerc completely capitalized and Piastri just flew away with that. Took the inside line and completely destroyed him down the line. Absolutely mad switch up for the start of the race. Oscar Piastri really drove incredibly well there. So did Charles Leclerc. Finding those gaps. He is doing an incredible job of finding those gaps. But a mad switch up there. Both Mercedes lost positions. George lost 2 positions. Antonelli lost 5 positions on that start. Absolutely mad. Gasly kept his position in 6th. Verstappen got 1 place up. Absolutely crazy start. Jeez, like that was pretty crazy. We're going to see if Leclerc and maybe Norris or Russell can make something happen down the main straights. But we don't really have any overtakes yet. But an incredible start from Oscar Piastri. Jeez, my God. And Charles Leclerc. Now, are Ferrari going to be able to capitalize on really harvesting their battery? Because that's what they were struggling with during the whole of qualifying and free practice 1. So we'll see what happens there. But we're coming down the main finish straight. We're going to see if anyone is close enough to maybe do a couple overtakes. Yeah, but we normally have 2 laps before anyone does some kind of... Oh, George Russell looking on the inside of Charles Leclerc. Is he going to make something happen? He does. Excuse me, Kimi Antonelli on Lewis Hamilton makes a move on the inside down to turn 1. Absolutely mad. And that kid is flying. But he's got to put some pace on. If he wants to win this race, he's going to have to pass a lot of really fast drivers. So Kimi Antonelli did a good job on Lewis Hamilton there. George Russell, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, and Oscar Piastri are very close. They are very close. They are 600ths away from each other. The top 6 are very tightly packed at the moment. So I think we're gonna see some overtakes here. I think we're gonna see some nasty overtakes. Okay, we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Oscar Piastri is definitely pulling away as we come into turn 13, down into the long straights. Max Verstappen making a move on his teammate into position 9. Again, can't count Max Verstappen out. Max currently sitting in 9th position, up 2 places from 11th. Very good job from Max. Down in the midfield, nothing much has changed. The Williams stood in 16th and 17th. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Is a Haas about to overtake a Red Bull? Is Isaac Hadjar fighting Max Verstappen for another position? Holy shit. My God, what is going on? We are in a different time zone. Oh my God, a Haas is overtaking a Red Bull. What the fuck is happening? Holy shit. I can't just overtook... Holy shit. A Haas just overtook a Red Bull. What? Where are we? Are we in an alternate timeline? What is happening here? Ocon just overtook Hadjar for 10th position. I mean, holy shit. Okay, I don't like these new intervals that the Formula 1 have put on their things. There's no decimal points and it's driving me nuts. But Russell right behind Charles Leclerc. There's a bit of a drivetrain there from Leclerc down to Antonelli. And I think Antonelli is sniffing Lando Norris's exhaust, looking for an opening here. Is he going to be able to find something down the straights? We are coming down the main straight into turn 13, as you can see from the track telemetry. Can Russell make something happen here down into turn 13 and maybe an overtake into the main straight? Let's have a look here. They are very close together. George, Norris, and Antonelli are very close. If George has harvested enough, he may be able to push an overtake. We shall see. Active aero is now currently open. George not doing much there. Down into the S-cane, into the chicane down in that. down into turn 16 and 17, and off into the finish straight. What happened? George, I want to see some pace here. Give me some pace. I thought the Ferrari sucked there. Ooh, George is pushing hard. George is pushing hard on the inside. Takes Charles Leclerc down into turn 1. Boom! That's what's happening, bro. I think Kimi Antonelli's also sniffing for Lando Norris. But a great overtake there. I think George did super well harvesting that battery down the main finish straight to be able to do a smooth overtake on Charles into turn 1. But George taking second position. Good job for him. Just kicked out the fastest lap of the race so far. I think George is taking no prisoners this season. He's going to give it absolutely everything he has every race because he deserves a world champion. We'll see. Now, Kimi Antonelli is putting major pressure on Lando Norris. Major pressure. He is literally a hundredth of a second away from this guy. What's he going to be able to do down into this main straight? He's going to be able to harvest enough. Is Lando going to drive defensively enough to keep Kimi behind him? Because I don't think those McLarens have the pace to keep those silver arrows behind them. Here's the long winding turner into the main straight. Is Kimi going to have the pace here? His active arrows are open. Is he going to be able to make something happen? He's sniffing it. No, he's going to have a dip. Maybe a little dip. He's very close. No one's going to overtake on that S on the chicane down into 16 and 17. It's too heavy of a corner, but it also, the great part about coming down into turn 16 and 17 is it's a very slow braking. It's very hard turning, so it's great. Oh, is Kimi looking on the inside of Lando Norris into turn 1? So yes, down into turn 16s and 17s, it's great because you're coming off a long straight. You've just deployed maximum battery. Okay, now you're braking really hard, pushing a lot of energy into the battery. You're also turning really hard twice into 16 and 17, which is also going to, harvest a lot of battery. And then you've got a main straight again. So it's a great way to really capitalize down the main straight if you've been overtaken or if you want to make an overtake. So very, very interesting there. George Russell is putting pace on Oscar Piastri. He is catching at a rapid race. Now, Kimi Antonelli has got to take Lando Norris as quickly as possible. He seems to be lagging a bit here. He definitely has a pace. Is he going to take it on the outside? He's got to make something happen really quickly. If he wants to win this race, he got to do this now. Now, they are going to... He's coming down into turn 13. Again, we're going to say this a lot. He's got to harvest really well down into these straights. He has a position here. Oh, Lando had a little wobble. Kimi Antonelli really needs to capitalize on this main straight. It's lap 5. You got the Kimi. You got the fucking whoop 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 whoop. I don't know what I'm doing. It says 7 a.m. I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to do the thing. Okay. God damn it. Yeah, but that's how it goes. Kimi not making much of a move down into turn 1. Okay. Piastri and Russell have pulled away a bit. 2 seconds away from Charles Leclerc. Now, I think Charles Leclerc is possibly playing a bit of a simpler game here. Maybe just trying to harvest, trying to protect his tires from some degradation. Let's have a look at the start here. Kimi had an awful start. A terrible start. 4 places gone. A really bad start from Kimi Antonelli. And again, it all comes down to how you deploying that battery after the formation lap. But a great start. Oh, I'm so sorry. A great start from Charles Leclerc and the McLarens. A really great start because Charles just has a great way of finding gaps. In these little tight spots, especially out in the open. Really, really great driving from Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris didn't do too well off the start. Overtook straight on the outside of Kimi Antonelli. I think that's why he probably couldn't get any more places. But Charles Leclerc, look at him. He's in 4th position here. Sees Kimi stall a bit, goes on the inside, then goes on the outside of George Russell. Pushes it hard, late braking, into 2nd position. Great driving from Charles Leclerc. I swear to God, this guy is... He's also got... Kimi Antonelli on the inside. And that's a take on Lando Norris. Kimi Antonelli takes 4th position. Great freaking job there. Well done for Kimi Antonelli. Oscar Piastri is lapping quite interestingly there. 500th of a second behind lap 3. Russell has got some pace. Russell has got some serious pace. Kimi Antonelli did not overtake Lando Norris. I don't know what that was. I think it was just a replay of him taking Hamilton. My apologies. But the intervals are interesting. There's a 2.1 second between Russell and Piastri from Leclerc's point of view. But there is also a 1.2 seconds from Antonelli from Hamilton's point of view. But Kimi is still very close to Lando Norris. He has got to make something happen here. You got to pull the cork out your butts and drive, boy. Drive. Now's the time. You got your driver's license in real life. You driving a car in Formula 1. You kicked the shit out of qualifying. Can you please overtake Lando Norris? Please. Please, bro. You have the fastest car on this track. It's time to do it. Now is the time. Kimi Antonelli. Do it. You 400ths away from you, right behind him. Find a spot. You now got coming into the main straight. You can deploy max battery. Come on, Kimi. Now is the time, bro. Now is the time. You're very close. Active arrow is open. Is he going to make something happen down into turn 1? Kimi is not going to make something happen. Lando driving very defensively. Doing a good job to keep Kimi behind him. But is he going to make this stick? Because tire degradation, when you're being chased by a much faster car, is going to put some strain on your tires. Which is going to make you pit more. Which makes your one stop seem further and further away. Which puts you at a major loss of losing major track position. So this is the problem when you're trying to defend against a much faster car. So Lando is suffering. But Kimi has got to overtake this car if he wants to beat his teammates. Because the gap is growing very, very quickly from Oscar and Russell. We're making some major headway ahead of the gap there. Charles Leclerc, I think, has been told to keep his delta at the right position. He's 2.2 seconds away from Russell. So I think he's just working in a bit of free air. Maybe looking after his tires a bit more. Maybe they can stretch out that pit stop. And, hopefully not fail on Ferrari strategy. Good old Ferrari, eh? Never lets us down. You Ferrari fans are a tortured bunch of people. Let me tell you that. Because, my goodness, how you guys deal with the Ferrari team strategy is beyond me. Is that Kimi Antonelli on George Russell? That is George Russell on Oscar Piastri down into turn 15. What a weird place to overtake. Is Oscar going to be able to come back here? George weaving a bit down the straight. Oscar is on the inside. He re-overtakes George Russell. I think that was a bad place for George to overtake down into 16 and 17. A very brave place to overtake. But unfortunately, Oscar capitalized down the main finish straight and took that position back. But in our swap between George and Oscar, fighting it out for first position, we love to see it. We love to see that kind of racing. That's the way it goes. Antonelli still not really, I think maybe looking for a gap, but just can't seem to find a gap to attack Lando and overtake him. Can't see why that though. Russell is pulling off overtakes here. Why is Kimi not? He's even backed off a bit from Lando Norris. So now sitting 8/10 behind. I'm quite sure what's happening there. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So great overtake there by George. No one really overtakes down into turn 16. So really impressive there. But Oscar obviously saw that coming, deployed max overtake down into the finish straight and be able to take him into turn 1. So really impressive by George, but unfortunately capitalized on by Oscar Piastri. We're not seeing many overtakes as we had in the previous races. Kimi still behind Lando, who takes a very wide turn into turn 16 over the barriers, almost all 4 tires. How is he going to handle that? Is Kimi actually going to be able to make a move here? Because it looked like Lando lost a lot of pace. Come on, Kimi, on the inside. Where is your pace, boy? Where is your pace on the straights? Now, there's a thing that coverage of Formula 1 isn't showing. They're not showing the clipping. Okay, and the clipping meaning that cars are losing a lot of pace down the straights when they're losing battery power. Like, I'm talking like a lot of pace, like 55 kilometers an hour pace. Some cars are losing 75 kilometers an hour in pace. And they very much, when you're watching coverage of Formula One, they don't, when they're about to start clipping, they actually, they use a different shot, or they move to a different shot when they show you the steering wheel of a car that's about to start clipping. So very sneaky from the coverage of Formula One, because there is a major issue there, and I think all drivers and teams are complaining about, you know, this severe power drop off down main straights. So I don't know why FIA does this, but you know, they're full of shit anyway, so that's how it goes. Okay, I think we're stuck in a bit of a lock here. Oscar Piastri and Russell, and Kimi Antonelli, who can't seem to overtake Lando Norris, but Lando also has Leclerc in front of him, but not really building. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I woke up at 6. I've had like 5 hours sleep. I'm a little like, I'm here. I'm just please. Please. So yeah, I'm not sure what Lando's plan is here, but he's sandwiched in between a very fast Leclerc and a very pacey Kimi Antonelli behind him. So he's driving in dirty air, number one. Number two, he's got a car putting major pressure on behind him, which is going to hurt his tires. I don't care what you say. Driving in dirty air, number one, is going to hurt your tires. But trying to protect yourself from a faster driver behind is even worse. So Kimi really has to put the pressure on and just overtake Lando. Unless, yeah, I don't know. But Leclerc also seems to be dropping off the pace a bit. Now he has picked up a bit, but still a 1 second behind George. We're going to have to see if Ferrari's strategy pays off here. But Charles has definitely got to put some pace on George if he wants to be in contention as well. Hamilton has fallen way behind on that. Now, Max Verstappen still in 8th, but very far behind Gasly. He's plus 4 seconds interval. It's not looking good for Max Verstappen there. Lindblad still in 10th. Not much of a change. I mean, who cares about Cadillac and Aston Martin at this point? I mean, these guys are just fighting for the bottom. Isaac Hadjar in 11th. Not much of a change down in the midfield. It's kind of evenly spread. No one really making any major moves. Disappointing. I thought this would have been a more of a exciting race, but you know, you can't win them all, I guess. There were some regulation changes that Formula One put into effect. I want to just see if I can find them here. F1 regulation changes. There's nothing much happening. George Russell still looking for a spot behind Oscar Piastri and Antonelli. Did Antonelli just take Norris? Why didn't you show that overtake? Antonelli has just overtaken Norris, finally. Is he going to be able to keep that position? Making serious headway there. George is really putting the pace on Oscar Piastri. I don't think Oscar expected to be able to fight against George this well, but George is not going to let this down. He's going to do everything in his power to get past Oscar Piastri. So let's just have a look at some of the rule regulation changes here following the Japanese Grand Prix, because there were some hiccups that happened. Oh, George Russell is very close. He's down as it turns 16 and 17. He's going to make a move in the final straight. Yeah, he hit the curb a bit there. I don't know if he's going to have the distance to cover Oscar Piastri, but he is putting the pressure on. Whether he's going to be able to do that overtake in the next couple laps, I don't know at all. George has been very good at harvesting his battery. I'll tell you that. Very, very good at harvesting his battery. So I think if anyone's going to take first position here, it's going to be George. But Antonelli now hunting down Charles Leclerc, with Lando Norris falling into 5th position. We'll see what happens there. So, the regulations for 2026, FIA implemented last minute for the Japanese Grand Prix, reducing maximum permitted energy recharge from 9.0 megajoules to 8.0 megajoules per lap. So I'm just going to put this up here so you guys can see what major changes have happened here, which is probably why we're seeing less overtakes as we have. Aims to reduce super clipping where a car slows on straights while recharging. So that is a big change and a last minute change. That's I don't get it, bro. Like, we want to see racing. We don't want to just see people. Fucking hell, it drives me nuts. I cannot fucking handle FIA, bro. They are the worst. They are the absolute worst. That is a crazy change to implement a last minute before a Grand Prix. Like a direct loss in power by 1 megajoule. Are you... Oh boy. Oh boy. That is the way it goes. I need to just make sure that my audio is okay. So let's just check this out. Looks like Kimi Antonelli on Charles Leclerc down into turn 1. Is he going to have a little dip on the inside? No, he's not. He is not. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we good on audio? So Kimi Antonelli. Oh my god, my energy is dying here. George Russell putting in the fastest lap. Max Verstappen. It feels like I'm driving without a power steering. My steering back is heavy. Max complaining. Let's have a look at some of the drivers and what they're saying down in the driver commentary. Who cares about that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm still waking up. Oh my god. I'm trying with the energy. More energy. More passion. More energy. I'm trying, guys. So nothing. It's just the bottom people talking about how shit their cars are. And how we can't get any gaps. 30-second gap. Oh my god. Here's a message from Lando. Norris. With this A switch, we might need left-hand shoulder in the spoon. Alright, so nothing crazy happening here. Nothing crazy happening there on the tracks. Let us see. Antonelli is now hunting down Charles Leclerc. What is he going to do into the main corners here? He's going to be able to maybe deploy, but he's right behind him. Very, very close to Charles Leclerc. Had a great exit down the main finish straight. Is he going to be able to put some pressure on Charles Leclerc? Maybe push out a little overtake here into turn 1. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that, but he is very close to Charles Leclerc. Sniffing down an overtake. Is he going to be able to make this happen? I don't think so, because these winding straights are very difficult to overtake in, but also very good for your battery. Oscar Piastri, if we hold track position, think we can hang on to this. So Oscar saying they thinking they can take the win if they hold track position. This is all going to come down to strategy. Who's going to pit and win? What tires are you going to put on? Are you going to cruise for a one-stop? Is a one-stop even viable? Have we even looked at the telemetry data on hard tires? Will hards last for a one-stop strategy? We will see. We're on lap 15 of 53 at Japanese Suzuka 2026 with Kimi Antonelli very close to Charles Leclerc. I think maybe harvesting a bit as much as he can. Coming down into the main straights. This is turn 13. Long right-hander down into the main straight. Can Kimi deploy here? If he gets a good exit. He has a very strange exit. Well, actually, no, he did it quite well there. But I've noticed active arrow is open on Kimi Antonelli. He may be able to push an overtake here. He is very close to Charles Leclerc. Is he going to be able to do something down into turn 15? Very close on the outside. Kimi Antonelli on Charles Leclerc on the inside of turn 16. Incredible job by Kimi. Finally overtakes Charles Leclerc for third position. Is Charles going to come back down the main straight? You can't weave Kimi. Charles is coming back. Max deploy. Charles overtakes Kimi down the main straight to take that position back. He will not be denied. Charles Leclerc has taken that position. Now, is Lando Norris going to capitalize on Kimi completely depleting his battery on that overtake on Charles? We shall see. Hamilton falling way behind. Oscar Piastri, thoughts on going this far to be fairly defend against Russell? I think the tires can do it to the end, or why not? So Oscar is looking for a one-stop strategy to win the race. What is Mercedes going to do in response? The strategy is what it's going to come down to, and Mercedes are masters of strategy. If anyone's going to do something like that, it's going to be Mercedes. Words fail me. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you are watching and seeing me yawn, it's very early in South Africa, and I'm watching this Grand Prix. I forced myself to wake up at 6 o'clock with 4 hours sleep, but I'm here doing the thing. I need some more coffee, but I'm going to suck down what I have left in this cold cup and see what happens. Nothing much. Max is still in A position. Nothing much happening down in the midfield. This isn't the race I was expecting. You know, I mean, coming off Australia. You know, we had more overtakes in Australia. Was it Australia? I think it was Australia. Yeah, more overtakes in Australia. We had 170 overtakes in Australia. 170 overtakes. Holy shit. I mean, I've seen like maybe a couple here. But why are you taking power away from the cars, Fia? It doesn't make sense. It's a stupid decision. Oh, Lando Norris is pitting. Lando Norris is pitting onto hards, going for a one-stop. They might be using Lando as a bit of a guinea pig and not Oscar Pierre. Oh my god, are they favoring Oscar this year round? Because they're obviously using Lando to get a bit of data on those hards. But the rest of the team is still out. Oscar, maybe they are trying. I don't think those hards are going to go from lap 17 all the way to the end. I really don't. I think the pit window for those mediums is like lap 24, 25, maybe even 28. You could push those mediums, and then you definitely can push the hards down to lap 53. I think that's a very stupid pit from the McLaren pit wall to put Lando on hards, because now he's in 9th position. He's got to pass a bunch of cars. Okay, sure, people have to pit, but that's not a great. It's not a great start. They are pitting Charles Leclerc. Okay, so everyone is coming in. They're obviously trying to protect from the undercut there from Lando Norris. It seems a bit early to pit, Ferrari. It seems a bit early to pit. I don't think this is a wise decision. They're going to go on hards. So they're obviously looking at a one-stop strategy. They believe that the hards are going to go this long. I don't know if this is going to work out. You just lost track position. Are you making the right decision, Ferrari? On hard tires, just pitted Leclerc. Oh, I don't know if this is a good move. Where is Leclerc going to come out? Right behind Max Verstappen. Lando Norris. Okay. So that might have been a good stop by the Ferrari pit wall, because Lando Norris is now behind Leclerc on fresher tires. So they may have just covered Lando Norris, which is probably why they pit stopped. So maybe a good move from strategy. Holy shit, did Ferrari just make a good strategy call? What is going on? Max Verstappen is in 6th position. Okay? Ferrari is making good strategy calls. Are we in an alternate timeline? Has the simulation shifted? What is happening? We'll see. Oh my god, I'm so tired, guys. I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. I'm struggling here. I really am. I might have to turn the energy down a bit. They are pitting Oscar Piastri on lap 8. So okay, everyone is gonna be coming into pitch. I don't think this is gonna be a one-stop race, guys. I really don't. The window for these mediums is much higher than lap 19. So I don't know what the plan is here. If they are trying to protect from undercuts from the Ferraris. But we're going to see it. They're keeping Hamilton out, obviously, for track position. But I think the Mercedes are going to go as hard as they can on those mediums. Get a bit of time ahead, and if they can push that gap, to get a free pit stop, maybe a safety car. But I don't feel like a safety car is going to happen. We will see. Maybe a DNF. But I'm a little disappointed. 170 overtakes in Australia. That's more than any race we had last season by a long shot. Now that FIA has made this as I showed you guys on stream, they have made this last minute change where they've taken away 1 megajoule from overtaking potential on the cars at the last minute, it's a little stupid because now, honestly, I can see the difference. People are not overtaking nearly as much as they were in the last few races, which, why do that? It's so fucking stupid. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Why are you taking power away from the cars? Fucking hell. I mean, can we just not nerf Formula One? We were at such a good position in the first two races, and now, oh man, stupid. It makes me a little mad. When that kind of shit happens, because yes, I mean, fuck. I'm just gonna calm down a bit here and just talk a little quietly because yeah, I'm struggling a bit. Oh my god, are you serious? Are you sure? Oh, my wife is getting me Starbucks. Holy shit. Yes, thank you. You are amazing. I think I'm gonna lose a lot of time. Wait, George just had a crazy message there. What was that? Again, copy that, Lance. Turn 11, entry into Fernando. What a joy. I missed that message. Damn it. George Russell 7. No, that was 34. George saying something about his tires not lasting. So I think the strategy from the Mercedes to stay out and keep track position might not work in their favor, because the pace from the cars behind on hards are going to pick up rather quickly. Now, if they can put a good... I'm just looking at the intervals here. As you can see on the right, I'm just looking at the intervals of these drivers. We're looking at Antonelli. I was looking at the times and the intervals. Oh my goodness. Lando Norris trying to overtake Max Verstappen. Old rivalries come together. Lando Norris cannot pass Max Verstappen. I don't think Max is going to give up that position for anything. But Lando coming down the main straight, looking on the inside of Max Verstappen. This is depressing. This is really depressing to see Max have no power. Can't even fight. It's not the Max Verstappen we know and love. Fuck. Hard to see, guys. Hard to see. But again, we're looking all eyes on Mercedes to see what kind of strategy they pull off here, because they really have to be quite smart about when they pit now, because the gap from Hamilton is only 4.5 seconds. They need at least 18 seconds for a free pit stop, and I don't think they're really gaining much track position. Now, whether they're going to swap positions is the question. Kimi Antonelli is still quite far he's still 2 seconds behind George, but whether team orders come into effect here is it's going to play a factor. It's definitely going to play a factor, so we shall see what happens here. They are boxing George Russell on lap 21. Okay, this is where it comes down to. Where is George going to come out? So he should come out behind Pierre Gasly, right? So ahead of Oscar Piastri, behind Pierre Gasly. They are double stacking the Mercedes. So what is going to happen here? George, are they going to do a good pit stop? Good pit stop. That's a good quick pit stop from George. 3 seconds, not the greatest. Is he going to come out ahead of Oscar Piastri? He's not. I don't think he is. I think Oscar beat him. Yep. I think they screwed up there. They were supposed to come out ahead of Piastri. That was a shitty pit stop, and now they are behind Oscar Piastri, which is not what they were. Got a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag. Who has gone off? Oh, someone has gone off. We got a red flag. We got a safety car. A Haas has gone off and hit the wall. Yeah, I repeat, we have a safety car. This is going to be interesting. Everyone who just pitted just got screwed, because there is a safety car and George Russell just lost out on first position, and there is a safety car. So George just got completely screwed by that Haas crashing. He was in first position and probably could have got a free pit stop, and now lost 5 positions. Unfortunate for George. Really, really unfortunate. Oh my God. What a luck of the devil. Kimi Antonelli is going to win this race. That was really, really harsh luck from George. Unbelievable. As he pits, someone crashes. He loses out 5 positions when he could have gotten a free pit stop. Now, everyone above him except Piastri still has to pit. So in theory, George is second. Okay, but still, he lost a lot of position on that. Now, are they going to pit Antonelli on this safety car? They better. They better. They are pitting Antonelli. Okay, they are pitting Antonelli. Okay. We shall see. Antonelli in the pits. They're going to obviously go on hards. So he pushed the mediums to 23, which is that tied up. I don't know if people are going to be able to do the one-stop strategy here, but we'll see. Kimi Antonelli, they're going to have a good pit stop. Hard tires on, and that is a 2.4 second pit stop. Much better than George Russell. Wow. Okay. So Kimi Antonelli gets a free pit stop. Comes out ahead. Now in first position. Hamilton gets a free pit stop. Piastri goes to second position. Russell in third position. Is he going to be able to overtake that? Oh my God. So Kimi retains first position from that pit stop. Holy shit. They are screwing my boy George. For the love of God. Oh no. It looks like Oliver Behrman has an injury. Oh no. Has Oliver Behrman hurt his foot? Oh shit. Looked like he had a bit of a wild crash there. The car seemed to dive and like kind of dig into the track right underneath the bollards. Looked like he had a bit of a hard crash there. I mean, the cars are so well protected, so for someone to have an actual injury in Formula 1 is rare these days. Hope Oliver Behrman's okay. We still under safety car conditions. Oliver Behrman on the side of the road. They haven't pulled. Let's have a look here at the crash. He's coming down into turn 13. Tried to do an overtake. Oh, hit the grass. And then just lost control of the tires. Unfortunate overtake there. He carried a lot of pace. I think he missed his braking zone because he was going very, very, very fast behind Colapinto. And I think just lost control because once that car hits like even a slightly damp, uneven grass surface, you're going to lose control of that car, especially when you're going 250 k's an hour down the track. Unfortunate for Ollie Behrman. He seems to have a bit of an injury to his right foot. I think we're going to have another safety car here for a couple laps. But unfortunate there for Oliver Behrman. Hope he's okay. But that does even up the field here. We hopefully going to see some overtakes. Antonelli in first position. Oscar has done well to get second position. George, unfortunately, got screwed with that safety car, but is in third position. We're going to see what happens here. Wow. Our luck with these last 2 races. Yeah. George, what you can do from here. Surely unlucky. Yep, it has been very unlucky, George. I agree with you. But if anything can make it happen, George, it's you, my boy. So come on, pull it through. Pull it through. Both Ferraris in 4th and 5th. There's no sign of the safety car ending. That car is stuck on turn 17, buried in the bollard. I think it's going to take a bit of time to get undone. I think we probably got a couple laps under the safety car. So let's see what happens here. You know what the crazy thing is? The Audis look so good. That Audi car looks so awesome. That gunmetal gray with the red looks so incredible. It's too bad the car's a pile of shit. It's too bad that car drives like nothing. Okay, there are cranes on track. They are removing the car. Lucky it's right by an exit, so hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 laps under the safety car and then go racing again. Oliver Behrman being escorted back to the paddock. So as you can see on track here, if you're looking at the top right, you can see there's a definite split between the top 9. Yeah, the top 8 and the bottom 9. Quite a big difference in gap there. So how that plays out, I don't know. But again, look at the Audi. Look at Lance Stroll. This guy, what is he doing? Look at him. Fuck me, I don't understand why this guy's in Formula 1. He's the only guy in Formula 1 that when he got sick and couldn't drive, didn't let the reserve driver drive for him because he knows that the reserve driver would have done better than him. I don't understand why Lance Stroll is in Formula 1. Can someone explain it to me? Or actually, I do know. Because Daddy is there. This guy's just a fan driving a car. Fucking hell. I just... Okay, I need a little stretch here. If you are joining the stream, I do appreciate you. I'm still waking up. Tell me where you are. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you are watching my stream, I really, really appreciate it. Tell me where you are in the chat. I want to know. Type a message. Use your fingers. If you're on your phone watching the unhinged commentary, let me know where you're from and what your time zone is. It is 7:30 here. I woke up. It's 8 o'clock here. Okay, I woke up at 6 o'clock, 4 hours sleep. I feel like this is a dream. If there ever was a simulation, this is what it would feel like. But we're under a safety car in the Japanese Suzuka Grand Prix 2026. And I think we're going to get underway shortly. There was some cranes removing the car. Ali Behrman got a little hurt there to his right foot. Hopefully he's alright. We'll see how it goes. We're looking for some overtakes here. We're looking for some action. We're looking for some pumping, speed overtakes. Not that, you know, we're gonna do anything. We'll see. So again, Oliver Behrman, a very, very fast crash this. Coming down from 15 into turn 16, carried a lot of pace. I think tried to overtake Gasly, but then, you know, I think misjudged the braking zone while concentrating on and then just on the grass, hit a couple of the speed markers, lost control, dug deep into the bollard. I think the way the car crashed is why his foot is hurt. It's because his car like spun out like that and then like dug into the bollard, and he was going pretty fast when he hit that barrier. So yeah, I think Colapinto was like, "What? Who's this guy? What this guy doing, bro? Hey, what you tuning here, bro? Fucking flying across the track, bro. You must keep it on the track. One time, you can't race when it's I don't know what accent it is. I don't know. I think we should have a safety car coming into this race. Oh, my voice. Goodness me. Who do you think is going to win the race? If you're in my chats, I don't think there is anyone here. But if you are, it's very early. I don't expect anyone from South Africa to be watching. But if you are, let me know who you think is going to win this race. I feel like it's going to be Kimi Antonelli, unless Russell can pull something off here. I don't think... It's so crazy, bro. The first two races, Hamilton's like, I'm back, baby! I'm back! And now this race, he's like, I suck! This car sucks! Ferrari sucks! Ah! I'll never understand this guy, bro. We've got sweepers on the track, sweeping off some debris. Hopefully we'll be underway. It's been 3 laps under the safety car. Come on, guys. Sweep that shit away. Let's get this going. Okay, so as you can see from the track data, everyone has evened up except the Aston Martins. Excuse me. Except the Aston Martins, who are in stone last. Because, yeah! Aston Martin. Fuck. Hell. What a team, eh? Race control. Lapped cars now may overtake the safety car. Okay, so we got lapped cars moving. That means the safety car should be coming in soon. Cadillac is the lapped car. Could you imagine? Could you just imagine being a Formula 1 team, a brand new Formula 1 team, spending all this money on your car, probably hundreds of millions on a car, okay, on your team, on your logistics, on your team principal, on research and development, on the wind tunnel usage, simulations, training your drivers, all of this shit. Could you imagine using all of that money, coming into the race with all this hype, and then, you know, balls deeping it down in turn 19 for 3 races? It must be pretty shit. Could you imagine the shareholders watching the races being like, what the is this what we paid for? Huh? I'd be bummed. What I'm saying. I'd be upset. Do we have a safety car coming in? Let us check. We're coming down the final corners here. So Bottas was the only car overlapped. It looks like we might be coming in. Or we may do one more lap in the safety car. George Russell on the radio. Can you confirm Kimi going in place that we trained? Not sure, George. Can you confirm Kimi in the... What the... Is George saying they want team orders? George saying he wants team orders? Interesting. Okay, we're doing another lap in the safety car. 4 laps. 4 laps under the safety car seems excessive. Come on now. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. It's time. It's time to go racing. It's time to go racing. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on. Come on. I want to go. I want to run. Na, 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 na. Oakley dokley. Oh, I take a little break here for a second. Just a little tire, oh my god. Oh my god. My neck. Safety car is ending. Safety car is coming in this lap. Couple more laps and then we will go racing. Kimi Antonelli to dictate the pace. Dictate. Yeah. We shall see. And just take a little breather on my throat here. Some soft. But we're gonna do it. It's coming to turn 13. Safety car is about to end. What is Kimi Antonelli gonna do? How is he really gonna play this out? And what is George really going? How is he going to attack the McLarens here? Because I don't think Hamilton has the pace. Leclerc definitely seems to have some kind of pace down the straights. And obviously, Leclerc has got some really great defensive driving skills. So you can't count him out, okay? But how is Kimi going to dictate the safety car ending? Because he's got two or three corners. Is he going to take it down the main straights? We are live. Kimi can now hold on. Is he going to go down the main straight or is he going to wait for the chicane? No, he's still holding off. He's still holding off. We're coming down to turn 16 and 17. He's away. Is he really pushing out? He's pushing out into turn 16 and 17. What's going to happen down the main straight here? Everyone is very bunched up. Kimi is pushed away a bit. Looks like Hamilton is very close to George. Are we going to see some overtakes down the main finish straight? I don't think so. All active arrow is open. Hamilton looking on the outside of George Russell. Takes it. Oh my god. Hamilton makes a move on George Russell on the outside down into turn 1. George losing a position, now in 4th position. Kimi Antonelli really pushed the pace and kind of flew away from the pack there. So we can see what happened. Oscar Piastri still in 2nd position. Hamilton did 3rd. I don't know what's happening with George. Overtakes are enabled by race control. Oh my god. So tired. Fucking hell. I'm struggling. I might even end the stream a little earlier. Kimi puts... I mean... To have a 1.6 second gap and you haven't even finished the lap is pretty freaking mental by Kimi Antonelli. He's got some serious pace. I think Mercedes... I really do. I think Mercedes is putting all their eggs in the Antonelli basket. I really do. Because he is driving extremely well for a rookie. He has got an incredible smooth driving style. He's very impressive to watch. And as a 19-year-old on track, so putting this kind of... I mean, look, when you have a fast car, it's easier said. You know, because you can do more. Coming down the main straight is Leclerc. Is that... Oh, Hamilton is looking for a position on Oscar Piastri. And Leclerc is looking at a spot. What has happened to George Russell? He is losing a lot of pace. Oscar seems to be catching up. So we got a bit of a train here from Piastri down to Leclerc. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Russell, but he's losing a lot of pace. Very close gaps between Piastri, Hamilton, and Russell. 600ths of a gap between those three. I think a bit of a train might be forming down that side, but Kimi Antonelli is flying. Lap 29 of 53 of the Suzuka Grand Prix. I mean, Antonelli has just flown away of that safety car. It's absolutely mad, but the pace on those Mercedes is actually frightening. But something could happen here with Hamilton and Piastri, because Hamilton has suddenly got all this pace, and Russell has just fallen off. It's nuts. Charles Leclerc, I think, is also looking for a bit of a gap there. Is Hamilton... This energy management system, I think, is really going to cause some problems. Max Verstappen not really showing up much this race. Still down in 8th position. Trouble in the Red Bull garage. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what's happening there, but there's definitely some issues at the Red Bull garage. Antonelli just put in the fastest lap of the race. He has put in 2.2 seconds in one and a half laps. Holy shit. For someone who just got his driver's license. My God. And now he's kicking ass in a race. Now look, it's a lot easier to do when you got a rocket ship under you. But, I mean, still, a rookie, it's difficult for a rookie to be out front constantly. But again, he does have a very, very, very fast car. Now we have a train here between Piastri, Hamilton, and Russell. No one really backing down, and everyone kind of waiting, charging, and looking for that gap to be able to take a position off the other. Very close gap, 600ths of a second between Russell, Hamilton, and Piastri. Very, very close. I think everyone's just biding their time, maybe waiting for the right opportunity to have maximum battery to deploy Overtake. And we got a message from Hamilton. The car ahead keeps going off track at turn 14. So Lewis Hamilton again complaining about someone doing something. Whatever. Okay. But again, George Russell, I think, really needs to put the pressure on Lewis Hamilton if he wants to get onto the podium. Now is the chance. Like I said, you have to find the right position to deploy your battery. It's not as simple as just pushing the overtake button whenever you want. It's this battle that you have to play with racing, and then also battery management, because if you can, find the right moments to harvest battery to be able to deploy at the right points. Oh my God, Lance Stroll is boxing. Who the fuck cares about Lance Stroll? Yes, I swore. This is unhinged Formula One commentary. Oh, Leclerc has a little wobble coming down the main corner straight. What is going to happen here? Is Hamilton going to have a little sniff? He's very... Nope, he's not going to... George and Hamilton. This is the race to watch. Kimi Antonelli is flying. 2.8 seconds ahead. Is Hamilton going to have a little look here? We are coming down into turn 14. If ever there's a time to harvest your battery, it's down into turn 16 to those long straights into turn 15, and then the corners down into corner 16 and 17 onto the main straight. But Russell has got to put the moves on Hamilton. He's got to pull his socks up. He's got to do this. He's very close to Hamilton. He's going to be able to make a move down the finish straight. Come on, George. Are you going to make this happen? Are you going to make this happen? Is he got some pace here? Does he have battery to be able to push Hamilton into a position? All active area open. Very close, but not quite there for Russell in 4th position. Hamilton falling a bit behind from Piastri, who is putting some pace down the straight. Antonelli doing super well. I think this guy's going to win the race again on the podium. Kimi Antonelli now 3 seconds away in after the full safety car. Pretty incredible. And again, the gap between Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, and Norris. Okay, Norris has fallen by 1.8 seconds behind. 600ths of a second. We got to make something happen here. If the Ferraris actually want to get on the podium, you guys got to attack. You got to attack. You made a great strategy call. Now is the time to capitalize. Okay, you can't hang around here. Okay, you're in dirty air. You got cars chasing you behind. Tire degradation is going to be high. Everyone's on a one-stop strategy. You got to push the limits here, guys. You got to push the limits, okay? This is what Ferrari needs to do. Hamilton isn't in a great position here. George is falling a little behind, but there is a train between Hamilton, Russell, and Leclerc. That is why I think we're not seeing many overtakes. Now, again, if you've just tuned in, Formula One and FIA made a regulation change minutes before the Japanese Grand Prix, where they took 1 megajoule away from battery. Why we're not seeing crazy overtakes? Australia had 140 overtakes. We have seen very few overtakes in this race, and that is exactly why this crazy regulation rule in the last few minutes before the freaking race, it's absolutely stupid by FIA to do this. But I think it is really affecting the cars because we're not seeing the pace from George Russell that we saw in the first 2 rounds of Formula One. But if you are tuned in, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me know where you're from in the chat and what time it is, because it is 8 a.m. here in South Africa. And I am trying to bring the energy. I woke up at 6, 4 hours sleep. I'm trying to push the energy. Let's have a look down at the main midfield here. No major changes. Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. Hadjar hasn't changed from 12th. Lance Stroll. Oh my God, Lance Stroll has retired. Lance Stroll is retired. I repeat, Lance Stroll is out of the race again. This is the worst driver in Formula One history. What the frag is Lance Stroll still doing in Formula One? Ollie Behrman did crash out and actually hurt his right foot. So got a bit of an injury there on the Haas, who crashed down in turn 17. A little bit of a pity for Oliver Behrman. Let's have a look at what the drivers are saying here. Anything important? He's pulling away on the straights. Hamilton talking about George Russell pulling away on the straights. He's talking about, can we catch him? Let's have a look here. So nothing crazy. Lewis just talking about how George has some major pace down the stretch, which makes sense because the Mercedes have a crazy level of battery management. Is George going to be able to make a push here? George going to be able to make a push. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Down the main straight. Full arrows open. Is he going to be able to overtake on the inside? Nope. He's very close, but just not quite there. Something has got to happen. Something has got to break. Antonelli is 4 seconds ahead after 6 laps. Piastri is cruising. I don't think they're going to go for the win. I really don't. I don't think Oscar's going to push hard for the win. I think they're going to settle for second position, quite frankly. But Hamilton falling behind Piastri quite a bit. He's losing. I'm just looking at the deltas. He's losing 100ths, 200ths of a second a lap to Piastri. And Russell, just looking here, his last was 133.5. Russell is doing a 133.5. He's literally 2,000ths of a second away. So Russell has pace. I think he's waiting for the right opportunity because it's so crazy. Could you imagine driving a Formula One car? Now you got to worry about when your battery is at the highest, right? When are you harvesting? When is the best time to harvest? And every track is different. Every tire is different. The car in front is different. Are you racing in dirty air? What racing line are you taking? When is the best time to deploy? Because Russell is the only car I've seen overtake in turn 16s and 17. So it's all down to battery deployment and what the car in front is doing compared to what your battery management is doing. It's a very interesting interplay here to how and when the best time to deploy battery, because you can definitely get into these situations where you just don't have that amount of battery enough to be able to overtake the car in front, especially if the car in front is harvesting battery better than you are, and you're going to lose these slight amounts of gain. Again, in free practice 1 and in qualifying, cars were losing 55 kilometers an hour on some tracks. Overall, we're talking about across the grid. Cars were losing 55 kilometers an hour down the main straight. Some were losing 75 kilometers an hour. I think Colapinto was losing 75 kilometers an hour down the straights because of this clipping, which is cars slowing down on the straights. If you don't know what that word, clipping, it's new to Formula 1 here this year. It's clipping. It's when the cars are down the main straight, they completely lose battery power and the car loses power and they lose speed on the straights, which Max Verstappen has actually complained about a hell of a lot during this race specifically. So we haven't seen many changes yet. I think it's kind of evened out a bit. Lap 35 of 53 at the Japanese 2026 Grand Prix. Appreciate you tuning in to this very early Grand Prix. But nothing much happened. George still looking to take Hamilton. He's got to take him on that main straight because I think to be able to defend, George has got to make a move here. He is down the finish straight. Is he going to be able to have a little insight here? He's much closer than he was. I think he might be able to pull something off here. Is George on the inside? George on the outside. Down into turn 2. Hamilton does a great job defending there. Well done from Hamilton. Good defensive driving. You can't... He's a 7-time world champion for a reason. He doesn't know how to drive the car. Okay? I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. But George is putting major pressure on Lewis Hamilton. George has got to pull something out the bag here if he wants to. Kimi Antonelli is completely flying away with this. 5.4 seconds ahead of the team. Jesus. There's some pace on that car. Very different to George Russell. George was kicking ass in the first 2 races. Now all of a sudden Kimi Antonelli has got this incredible pace behind him. Now Kimi has failed dismally on the starts. I don't think he can harvest his battery very well on the formation laps, which is why he fails on the starts. But when he gets going, my God, he is... I think he's getting a lot of data from George, in the last 2 races. And now his team is now guiding him on when to harvest battery, when to use overtake, how to harvest in these weird straight corners, and when to coast down into turning corners. You know what I mean? So lift and coast is what has been predominant in these races here because it really helps with charging your battery. But we're looking at George and Hamilton and the 2 Ferraris. George is stuck in a Ferrari sandwich at the moment. He's got to make something happen on Hamilton. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to really get... Is he going to have a look on the outside? No. George can't seem to make that position. Can't seem to get past Hamilton at this point. We'll see. Woo! Man, my voice. It's far too early to be screaming this much. My God. I have a little breather here while I just catch my breath. Piastri, yes, Kimi is 5.5 seconds ahead here. Russell dropping a back from Lewis Hamilton a bit. Hamilton very close to Piastri as well. So we have a battle here. We have a battle here between Piastri, Hamilton, and Russell and Leclerc. And I think what Leclerc is doing is harvesting as much as he can, waiting for Russell to maybe perhaps make an error, make a mistake, and capitalize on that. But again, I'm a little disappointed in this race. I really enjoyed the first 2 rounds. They were really exciting. Some of the best, overtaking I've seen in the last couple of years from Formula 1. So, I was really, really excited because it kept me on the edge of my seat, and I haven't had that in a long time, since 2021. So it's been great to watch a really high-paced, high-overtaking situations in Formula 1. But now I thought we would have had a bit more of that. But with these last-minute regulation change... Okay, George looks like he's going to be able to take Hamilton here. No. George just lost the position to Charles Leclerc. Oh, George. George is failing. I don't know if the pressure is getting to him. I don't know if the pressure is getting to George because he's just lost the position and down to his coveted position of position 5. That was his favorite position when he was racing with Lewis Hamilton. But George seems to be failing a bit in the pressure. Let me know who you think is going to win this race. It's obviously going to be Kimi Antonelli. Now 6.6 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri. Oscar also cruising quite nicely. I think Hamilton maybe just trying to drive in a bit of free air, get a bit of tire management going, and maybe harvest to get a bit of a late attacking. Okay, we're 38 laps into this 53-lap race of what, unfortunately, has been a little bit of a boring race. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a little more excitement. I don't know what FIA does with these regulations, guys. It doesn't make sense to me. Why are you doing this? Why are you taking power away from the cars? So stupid. It's so stupid. We got a drivetrain going on here. Leclerc is looking to overtake Hamilton here for third position. Leclerc sniffing that podium. Oh boy. Is he going to take him down this main straight? Leclerc, all active arrow is open. George, very close. We got a fight here for third position between Leclerc and Hamilton. I don't know where these Ferraris are getting this pace from, but they are certainly pushing it with everything they have. Hamilton, 600ths of a second away from Oscar Piastri. Oh my God, the greatest woman on earth has just delivered me Starbucks. Look at it. Starbucks. This is not sponsored by Starbucks. This is not a paid promotion, I swear. But I'm going to have a little snack here. Thank you to my gorgeous wife, who is the best. I have a chocolate croissant. I'm going to snack on this. Have a little break here. Oh my God. Oh yeah, baby. This is what Sundays are all about. A little bit of a race. A little bit of coffee. Huh? Yeah. A little bit of a... Yeah. We're stuck in the train. We're stuck in the choo-choo train, guys. I hate it when this happens. Can someone just overtake someone? For the love of God. Looks like Leclerc is about to take his teammates. Coming down the finish straight. Is Leclerc going to put the moves on Hamilton? George is falling far behind. He's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm just having a little snack. Sorry to talk with my mouth full. My God, Kimi Antonelli is 7.9 seconds ahead of the race. We have 13 laps left to go in the Japanese Grand Prix. I think this is pretty much set. Charles Leclerc on the radio. We are losing a bit of time for info. Copy that, Charles. Oh, Charles, come on, bro, take him. Oh, Charles Leclerc on the outside, down into turn 17. He's going to make a move. Come on, Charles. Get a good exit down the main finish straight. Come on, Charles. Now is the time. Now is the time. Push the button. Push the button. Take him. Come on, Charles. Come on the inside. On the inside. No, he goes on the outside. Hamilton does a great job at defending. Fucking hell. He is a really great defensive driver. I'll give you that. I don't think he's going to hold that position long. Also, George Russell, because of the fighting between the McLarens, between the Ferraris, is going to capitalize on Leclerc overtaking Hamilton if he makes that overtake. Because George has made a lot of pace up. Oh my God, is he going to make it? Holy shit, George. You are an absolute savage. Absolute savage. He nearly took... Holy shit. I mean... The battle between Hamilton and Leclerc is forcing George right behind Leclerc. Leclerc needs to make a move on Hamilton or it's over. It's over. George is going to find a gap here. He's waiting for the Ferraris to make a mistake and capitalize on that shit. Leclerc is coming down the main straight. Now is the time, boy. Now is the time to put your foot to the floor and take Hamilton. Okay? You've been itching. All active aero is open. What are you going to do here? Main straight, here we come. Come on, Charles. You're right there, bro. Oh, my God. We're coming down into turn 16 and 17. Oh, Charles Leclerc on the outside. Is he going to make a move? Is he going to make a move? No, wheel to wheel. Down into 16 and 17. He's right behind Hamilton. Is he going to make a move down the finish straight? Oh, he has a wobble. Lost a bit of the back rear end there. Coming down the main straight. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move on Hamilton. Or is he? Down the outside. Charles Leclerc. Oh, my God. Charles Leclerc on the outside. Another fantastic overtake. Is Hamilton fighting back? Oh, shit. Oh, no. Charles Leclerc takes an incredible spot there. Nearly overtook Hamilton on turn 16, but made a great exit. Even had a little wobble. Still overtook Hamilton down the main straight. Deploying battery and kicking ass. George cannot capitalize on that. He has lost 3 positions. I'm a little shocked that George can't capitalize, because now George is sniffing the exhaust of Lewis Hamilton. He really needs to capitalize, and he hasn't done so for the last couple laps. He's had the opportunities. He's had the power, the pace, and the battery to be able to take, but Hamilton has just denied him on every single lap. Now is the time. We have 11 laps left. If there's ever a time to harvest your battery and plan a point of attack, now is that time. You're going to lose a podium if you don't do it now. Okay? Coming down the main straight. Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell. Norris is even picking up and joining the battle into 3rd position. What are we going to see here? Kimi Antonelli is 9.9 seconds ahead. We have a 300-second gap between Leclerc, Hamilton, and Russell. So we're going to see a switch up here. As the race comes to a close, we're going to see more pace. As the fuel gets lower, the cars get faster. As the hard tires come into their life, is George Russell going to make a move on Hamilton on the outside down into turn 1? He does it! George Russell takes 4th position down into turn 1 on Hamilton. A long overdue overtake by George Russell. Great job for deployment there. Well done, George Russell, for taking 4th position. You got to get on Leclerc ASAP. You got to get up there and move, boy, because you're not going to get 3rd position unless you put in some serious pace and harvest your battery correctly. You got to come correct, boy, if you want to make this win. Okay. Oh, my God. Coming alive. Lando Norris has entered the fray. Player 6. Player 6 has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Trying his best. The world champion. The world champion is in 6th position, fighting for his life. Okay. 10 laps left. I think we're going to see a change or two here. But I think is the driver vote of the day is up. If you are in chat and watching, who is your driver of the day? I want to know. Who your driver of the day is. Please let me know. I don't know who it is, quite frankly. But we're going to vote for it right now. Vote now. Who is your driver of the day? Let me know in the chat. I want to know. We're looking at Lando Norris coming down the main straight. He's not going to make anything happen. Honestly, I think it's got to go to Antonelli. He had a really shitty start. But I mean, he's driven really well. He's driven really, really well. If Oscar Piastri, who I don't think is going to take Kimi, I would give it to him. But this is a hard choice. This is a hard choice for voter of the day. I think it's got to be Kimi. I mean, he really, I mean, he did lose 5 positions on the opening lap. So, I mean, it's got to be Kimi, right? It's got to be Kimi. Yeah, it's got to be Kimi. I'm going to vote for Kimi for driver of the day. Voting for Kimi. Well done, Kimi Antonelli. He deserves it. Good job. Good job, boy. Good job, my boy. Is this the win? I think this is the positions, guys. I don't think we're going to see many changes here. I mean, a lot can happen in a couple races, but I think this is pretty much it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see many unless George is pushing hard. He is up the pace a shit ton. He just did a 133.0. Leclerc is doing a 133.3. He has got some pace on Charles. Is he going to be able to make a move to get third position? He's got to do that if he wants to stay in contention here for points. Let's just have a look at the point spread here. So we're looking at Lewis Hamilton losing. Oh, Lewis had a little wobble coming down into turn 17, and George capitalized on that. Locked up his rear tires, and George capitalized down the main straight and took Hamilton. A rare error by Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, a little pressure there from George did wonders to be able to overtake. Let's have a look here. So let's just have a look at the point spread. So yeah, George has got to get. He's got to get this. He's got to get this podium if he wants to stay in contention with Kimi Antonelli. He's got to get this position back, and I think he's going to try everything in his power because Kimi and George are very, very close on points. And if he wants to be in contention for World Championship, he's got to take every win he can get because Kimi sure as hell isn't going to back down. So George Russell has got to get this third position from Charles Leclerc. He's down the main straight. Active area is open. He's very close. Is he going to be able to make a move on the inside? No, he is not. Come on, George. Now is the time, bro. You got 4 laps. We've got 7 laps left. What are you going to do, George? You are... Kimi Antonelli is 3 points behind you in the drivers' championship. You're going to make something happen. You can't take third position. You got to be first. You got to fight here, bro. I mean, Kimi Antonelli is 12 seconds. He's 12 seconds ahead of the pack. I mean, what the shitballs? What the shitballs? I mean, this is crazy. Oscar Piastri actually did really well. I mean, he's driven spectacularly. And I will say, Kimi Antonelli losing 6 positions on the starting grid and then pulling out a great pit stop. I think George got screwed by the safety car, quite frankly, because George, if he had pitted under that safety car, would probably be first right now. But vote for driver of the day. Let me know in the chat below who you think driver is the day. Everyone says Oscar Piastri. I went for Kimi Antonelli because, I mean, holy shit, look at this guy. He's going crazy. But Oscar Piastri is currently winning driver of the day at 23%. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think these positions are going to change much. George is very close to Charles again, coming down the main straight. Is he going to make battery deployment a thing here? Very close. Are we going to see an overtake from George? Active arrow is all open. George very close. Nope, not going to make it happen. Come on, George. You got to have a better exit there, bro. Charles is such a good defensive driver as well. He really, really is. You can't take anything away from that guy, man. Let's have a look down at the bottom of the grid. Verstappen stayed in 8th position this whole race. I think they're just harvesting data at the moment and gonna have a debrief. Look what's happening there because that's an upset. That's not where Max Verstappen belongs, down in 8th position. So I think there's serious problems going on with the car within the team. They're trying to figure things out. Hadjar down in 12th position, which isn't bad for a second Red Bull driver. Again, there's issues at Red Bull at the moment that I think are causing these kinds of problems. Again, Lance Stroll crashed out because he sucks balls. Oliver Behrman had a little crash and maybe hurt one of his appendages, hurt one of his feet, I think, as he crashed that Haas down into turn 17. Kimi Antonelli now 13 seconds ahead. Absolutely. Oh, are we having a little sniff here from Lando Norris, who overtakes George? Oh my God. Lando Norris has overtaken Lewis Hamilton. Wow. From turn 16. You never expect people to overtake something on turn 17 because now Lewis Hamilton is going to have full overtake down into the straight, which I think he's going to make that position back, which he does on the inside. It's not a great place to overtake in turn 16 and 17, again, because most of the car that you're chasing will have overtake and a full battery down into the main straight. So never a great spot to overtake because you're never going to be in a good defensive position when you're going down the main straight. But a nice try from Lando Norris. Unfortunately, could not make it stick down that straight. But could nonetheless to see overtaking. That's what we really want. Down into turn 16, yeah. Unfortunate. George, I don't think George is going to take Leclerc, quite frankly. He's now 1 second behind Charles Leclerc. I don't think there's any overtakes left there. I think this is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. I do. I think this is the ball game. I don't think we're going to see much more track position changes. If Lando can maybe do something, or if George can maybe do something, we'll have to find out. Verstappen takes a position from Gasly to get into 7th position. Good job, Max. There are 5 laps to go in the Japanese Suzuka 2026 Grand Prix. Gasly takes position back from Verstappen, having a little battle down there in 7th and 8th position. Nice to see it. Unfortunate. Yeah, that Max just, I guess, can't capitalize on these new regulations quite yet. But you cannot ever count Max Verstappen out. George Russell still hunting down Charles Leclerc with 5 laps to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do this. I mean, he's done really well with overtaking in the last couple rounds. But I just can't see him capitalizing. He just can't seem to capitalize anymore. I don't know if this is because of the regulation changes or whatever happened to the active aero issues that were raised with Mercedes, but George just can't seem to find the sweet spot. I think it's been a really unlucky weekend for him overall. So yeah, a pity. Three laps to go for George. Is he going to be able to make something here? Turn 16. Charles Leclerc harvesting in the front, as you can see from the lights. George Russell on the main straight. Charles has a good exit. George has a good exit. I don't think he's going to make that stick. Charles even harvesting a bit. Now lifting and coasting. No, George doesn't make that. Yeah. I don't think George is going to make anything happen here. He's got 4 laps to go. He can overtake Charles. He can do it. I mean, Charles, yes, great defensive driver, but you can make something happen, George. It's up to you, bro. He's right behind. He's so close. The 500ths of a second behind Charles. Coming into turn 11, which is that hairpin turn, 180-degree turn. Coming into turn 12, as you can see from the top right there. Are they harvesting? I'm not sure if you harvest from turning into those heavy, like long swerving corners. But coming into turn 13, right into turn 14, which is down into the main long straight. George obviously trying before they hit the chicanes and into the main straights to be able to deploy. I don't think he can find that sweet spot. Is he looking on the outside of Charles Leclerc? No, this is not the good place to overtake. He overtakes in turn 16. Is he going to have the battery to defend from Charles down the main straight? I don't think he does. Is Charles going to deploy here and take that position back? We will see. Charles very close. Is he going to do an overtake on the outside? George looking to defend. Charles overtakes on the outside into turn 1. You cannot overtake into turn 16 and 17. You lose too much power down the main straight, and Charles knows that. Charles can see that happening. He knows George trying desperately to overtake him in 16 and 17, and he's like, oh well, I'm just going to overtake you down the main straight because I have full battery, and you've just used it all trying to overtake me. That is why Charles is driving smarter than George at this current point. So unfortunate for George. I don't think he's going to get that position back unless Charles makes a big mistake, which I don't see happening. Unfortunate for George. He's just, I think he's, honestly, I see a little panic. I see a little panic in George. I think there's a little pressure that Kimi is so far ahead at this point and now is going to be taking, he is now going to overtake him in the driver's standings. So I think George is maybe in a little bit of a pinch. A little bit of a right? Because, you know, you're now beaten by your much younger teammates in a team you've been in for almost 4 years, 5 years. So, it's a pity that George can't capitalize on beating Charles Leclerc here. Because a podium is kind of essential for you. You don't have the luxury of not scoring these points if you're wanting to be world champion. Down the main straight we go. 2 laps to go in this Japanese Grand Prix. I do appreciate everyone who did watch. People have come in and out. I think we had a 12 streamer view maximum at one point. I do appreciate that, guys. That's really, really awesome. There's no one else watching now. I'm just saying thank you to anyone that does come in and say hello. It's really, really awesome. I do appreciate it. You know, supporting the stream and stuff. I do this every week for every race. So you're more than welcome to come and hang out and talk some shit about the unhinged commentary. Again, I haven't been at max energy. It's been a very early race for me, so my energy has been at about 40%. So I do apologize for that, but next race is later in the evening, and I will be max energy. But we're winding down this Suzuka Grand Prix. There's 1 lap to go. George Russell just could not capitalize on Charles Leclerc and could not get 3rd position. Unfortunate for Georgie, but you know, that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles, eh? That's the way the shaking of the bacon. That's the way you shake and bake, hey? Yeah, I don't know if George is going to make anything happen here. There's 1 lap to go. Kimi Antonelli, youngest driver on the grid, 14.4 seconds ahead. Is George going to be able to make a move down here? Coming down the main straight, very close to Charles. I don't know if he's going to make a move. We're on the final lap here. I don't think George is close enough to make a move. No, I don't think. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But Kimi Antonelli, 14.4 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri in 2nd place. Madness. Leclerc in 3rd position, getting hunted down by George Russell. Unfortunate, but George just can't seem to capitalize on those battery overtakes. And I think the penalty and the penalizations from FIA has caused some problems there. Lando Norris in 5th position. Really not a dismal race. Not an exactly good race either for Lando Norris. Not really finding too much pace. Unfortunate. Hamilton shouldn't be in 6th position. He should be up in at least 3rd or 4th position. Don't know what happened there. He lost 2 positions a bit later in the race and just couldn't bring it back. But Gasly again, the most underrated driver in Formula 1, in 7th position. He is putting that Alpine in places it shouldn't be. All right, let me tell you that right now. He is a really, really underrated driver on the grid. Really, 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 really good. Max Verstappen in 8th position. Unfortunate for Max. Again, lots of problems. Kimi Antonelli crosses the line. 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli wins the Japanese Suzuka 2026 Grand Prix. Congratulations, boyki. You did a stellar job. A bit of a shit start, but you came through and won the race. Incredible pit stop. George got very unlucky. Piastri finishes in 2nd. Leclerc crosses the checkered flag in 3rd position. George Russell could not capitalize and finishes 4th behind Charles, with Lando in 5th and Lewis Hamilton in 6th position. Gasly and Verstappen finish very close behind them in 7th and 8th position. Lawson in 9th and Ocon in 10th. That is it, ladies and gents. It's been a bit of a upsetting race. Not as exciting as we were hoping for. Alright, hopefully we see some better overtakes in Miami. Now, the Bahrain and the Saudi GP have been cancelled. So we will not be seeing them on the calendar this year, which means we have a bit of a gap for the next race. So that's just the way it is. the shit going on in the world that none of us want to happen, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, that is it for the race. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Again, well done to Kimi Antonelli for winning the race. I hope Oliver Behrman recovers from that injury. Looks like he had an injury. Toto Wolff as stoic as ever, showing no emotions for his youngest driver to be winning. Really, really great. Piastri giving thumbs up to the crowd for second position. I think Charles Leclerc will be happy with third. It's good for the Ferrari teams. But really great. That is it. I am dead beat. So I'm going to end the stream. I really appreciate everyone who did watch. It really means a lot to me that you come in and hang out in the stream. But I am going to sign out. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you for the Miami GP. If you want to subscribe and check out some other Formula 1 content, you can do that as well. It would be awesome to check out. Okay. But anyway, see you guys later. Have a good week. Bye.